Jack from Phobic UK here, doing a first look at the Koenigsegg 1-1 on Need for Speed Most Wanted. So this is DLC that's just been released. Well, I think it was actually last week, but I haven't been able to record recently due to issues I've been having with my laptop. But that's a story for another time. So I also have a cold, by the way, so if I'm coughing randomly throughout the video, then I have a reason for it. So I've been wanting to take a first look at this car. Wow, okay, that started early. I've been wanting to take a first look at this car for quite a while now, actually, but never, like, since I downloaded it anyways, but never found the time to really take a look at it. So I thought, why the heck not, when I've got a cold, just record a video. You know, people might find it interesting, so I did anyways, because, you know, I play by the nobody's rules. Anyways, that's my sort of badass rant over. As you can see, it's a very unique vehicle made by the Swedish car manufacturers called Koenigsegg. It is the only car in the world with a 1-to-1 power ratio, i.e. it is the only car in the world that does 1 horsepower. British horsepower, that is, not American horsepower, because that's slightly more. I'm only joking, there isn't American horsepower. No, seriously though, this is the only car in the world that does 1 horsepower for 1 kilogram, as far as I'm aware. So for every, for every 1,000 kilograms it weighs, it'll do 1,000 horsepower. As far as I'm aware, this car weighs 1,300, so it does 1,300 horses, which is a rather large amount for a car that weighs that much. In comparison, the previous record holder, the Bugatti Veyron, I think it's the actual previous verified record holder, only had a power to weight ratio of, I think it weighed 1,800, but its horsepower was, no, I tell a lie. Its horsepower was 1,800, but I think its weight was somewhere around 2,000-ish, so it didn't have an exact 1-to-1 power ratio, so it didn't have enough sort of power to get it into the, you know, sort of high 200s further than the record it already held. Koenigsegg are saying this car will be able to reach 270 plus when it's verified by Guinness for the world records. But you know, that's where it remains to be seen. I'm rather impressed with the car in Need for Speed though, so you know, that's a plus. So in Need for Speed, it's a really fast car. It outperforms the McLaren P1 in terms of acceleration and top speed when it is stock. With some upgrades though, it is, you know, it's leagues above everything else. You know, it's really quite as something. I mean, even with on gravel here, you know, you can see if you look at the bottom right hand, we're running just over 100 miles an hour, which is pretty impressive. So we'll get over to a highway, see what sort of speed we can get up to on one of them. So we'll talk about the appearance for now. So it's quite a unique looking car, you know, with its rear spoiler not being held on by anything but 2 strips of carbon fibre that kind of hold it on the roof. You know, it looks different. I'm sure it's for some sort of aerodynamics, weight saving reason, but it looks a bit cool and different, and I like it. So that's rather nice. Another thing is the decals in the game really accent the car quite nicely. I think they cost 10,000 though to buy, so unless you have spare speed points lying around, I wouldn't recommend buying them off the bat as soon as you download the car. The DLC itself though is free, which I think was a nice thing of I think it's Ghost Games, yeah. A nice thing of Ghost Games to do. It really shows that they're, you know, sort of looking out for the player base. So I'm ultimately really happy with this DLC, and I know a couple of friends who've got it, and I think they're fairly happy with it as well. So, you know, no issues there. Obviously, you know, with the graphics on the Xbox One and even the PS4. You know, I'm a Microsoft fanboy, but I must admit everything looks good on the PS4 as well. But with the graphics on the Xbox One, this car looks supreme. It looks really well polished off, and just do a bonnet view here. Oh, that was well timed. But everything looks really well polished, really well finished off. I'm really happy about the work that that Ghost Games have put into putting this car in the game. So overall, I would say that this has been a really nice addition, and there is a police car right there, so I think I'll enter into my safe house. But overall, I'd say Ghost Games have put a ton of work into this, and they've made it a really nice addition to the game. So if I were you and you have Need for Speed, I would personally recommend going out to get this DLC from the Xbox Game Store or the PlayStation Game Store or whatever. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Leave your opinion down in the commentsy bit below, and I like to read comments whenever. I mean, I don't get many, but whenever people put comments on my videos, I like to have a look at them. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'm sorry about the cold again. You know, if you coughing annoyed you, but I'm sorry. I've been Jack from Phobic UK, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.